Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
My hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here. And it's 4:30 and I'm shifting gear. When she's lonely and the longing gets too much, she sends a cable coming in from above.
All right. Good morning. Hello there. How are you, family? It is Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ. How are you? It is cold everywhere. And again, boring cold, as we said last week. Like this is just cold without the silly songs. This is cold without the cocoa. I mean, you have the cocoa, but you're not outside looking at lights. You know, there again, a month ago, cold was charming. A month ago, we were hoping for the cold. A month ago, we were like, ooh, if only it would snow. And now, file this under, careful what you wish for. It's Another Side of Midnight, me, TJ, and all the family there. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. It's 8 minutes past the hour. Very grateful to have my buddies Tony and Bill here flying with me. And it's oh, and by the way, let's see. It is now maybe a year, to call it about probably a year and a half now, but certainly a year into the Trump presidency this week, and you can now add to the long list of things that that Democrats are on the wrong side of. You can add to that peace. They're on the wrong side of peace. Trump actually was getting the business. He was getting crap from Democrats, from liberals, because over his board of peace. Only Donald Trump says, you know what? Says, you know what? I'm gonna try a little, what are we gonna do? You know what? Rather than just call for peace, just randomly, say what everybody else says, call for peace and say, I want peace and we love peace and peace-loving people and peace on earth, goodwill toward. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of take a little page from my previous life, and I'm going to create a panel. I'm going to create I'm going to create a board. I'm going to create a board. Everybody hear me out. I'm going to do, Melania, what do you think? I'm going to do a board of peace. I'm going to do a board of peace. And it's not just me, not just the glory for this. I'm opening this up to everybody. I'm opening this up to the countries that can make a difference and can actually, they're going to have skin in the game. Listen to this brilliance about that. These countries have to be able to bring something to the table. And there's a rhyme at this time, 2:10 a.m. here on the East Coast. A little bit of a rhyme there for you to enhance the little riff. Anyway, he comes up with this brilliant idea that I'm going to form a board of peace. We're not just going to talk about peace in the Middle East. We're going to create a board. It's going to bring a lot of pressure to bear on all the parties involved. We're going to tell them that we mean business, and we're going to stand shoulder to shoulder. And again, countries are going to have to bring something to the table. They're going to have to bring a $1 billion buy-in. $1 billion buy-in. That you bring $1 billion, you can buy in and be a part of my great grand board of peace. So you can't come in and just talk about it and get all the glory. You gotta have skin in the game and contribute. You gotta contribute dough, and you gotta bring manpower. You got to bring your negotiating skills. You got to bring your desire for peace. And so he did that. His International Board of Peace. He brings it up at Davos, which, by the way, at the beginning of the week, I mean, this is quite the week that was. At the beginning of the week, we were told, watch out, Trump's going to go to Davos. Excuse me. He's going to go to Davos, where everyone hates him, and all the European dudes and broads, they all hate him. So all the guys and gals who hate Trump, they're all going to be in one place. Wait till you see the hate for DJT. You watch. And he killed. He destroyed. He gave one of his 2-hour, you got to be kidding me speeches. I tell you, it was one of the better written ones when you know, the stuff of substance that was prepared was really actually quite well done. And his tangents were many, but they were entertaining. And you know when I knew that Trump was going to do well in Davos, that he was going to move whatever the hell he wants forward, he's going to move it forward. Here's what I knew. Standing there, supposedly in front, and look, if they didn't like him, look, a few people glower and hate and glare and smite. Few groups do that, as well as European snobby European lefties and center lefties and just, light socialists and all them. And this guy, he's up there and he's doing his thing and he's just trumping his way through it, just Trumpifying the joint. And at one point he says, it was gorgeous, it was magnificent. He goes, and then I saw wonderful. Listen, I fancy myself to be a really good impressionist. I'm still working on Trump. And then I saw fantastic Emmanuel Macron. He said it like the Christmas hymn, the Christmas carol. Emmanuel Macron. I saw him. He was giving his speech and wearing the glasses. I didn't understand. What was with the glasses, Emmanuel? And the laugh. That's when I knew. He got like a proper, like Dean Martin roast laugh. Like the only thing missing was Flip Wilson sitting on the on the dais, just. And who played Aunt Esther? That one? Esther Roll. No. Esther Roll. I'm thinking of Anna. Esther Roll. She was the mother from Good Times. What was the name of the actress who played Aunt Esther? Look, I go to the two black dudes just expecting you to know this right off the top of your head. Who's the actress that played Aunt Esther on Sanford and Son?
LaWanda Page.
LaWanda Page. A great, bawdy, dirty comic in her own right. LaWanda Page. That's the only thing that was missing at Davos was a dais with LaWanda Page, Flip Wilson, Milton Berle, and Forrest Tucker. And who was the drunk? I always blank on his name, especially at 2:16 in the morning. But Trump got a laugh. Trump got a really good, solid belly laugh from the crowd when he was talking about Emmanuel and in the glasses. What was that all about, Emmanuel? And they were rolling. And I said, oh, my God, they like him a lot. And so he did. Sure enough, man. There he is, and he does what in retrospect was classic Trump deal making. Go kind of nuts. Go way out there, get out over your skis. No pun intended, Switzerland. Get out over your skis. Talk a big game. Say, maybe we'll use force. I don't know. We're going to take it over, I'll tell you that. How? You know what? Let me worry about how. Okay? All right, you got your how. I'll give you a how. All right? I don't want to say. Could be strength. Could be, I don't know. They don't want that. They don't want me to use, all of that. He gets cute. And the next thing you know, just as the world is ready, is gnashing their teeth and clutching their pearls, there he goes and says, I'm not going to use force. Come on. Come on. I'm a lover. Now, what happened in Iran, that was loving in a very strong, strange way. That was me loving. Same thing when we took Maduro. That was me being loving and cuddly. And anyway, he didn't walk anything back, and it wasn't, Trump always chickens out. That stupid taco line. His enemy, his adversaries wished that he would chicken out all the time. It's actually, I can't do. I was going to make an acronym here, but I can't do it because my thing is Trump doesn't always chicken out. It's Trump wins all the time. I can't do that one. Turn wins. Oh, nope, can't say that one. But Trump wins all the time. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I tell you what, all this rock salt is going to my brain. All this rock salt in the air. And whatever they're seeding the roads with, whatever that brine is, I think that's making me loopy. 1-800-848-9222. So yeah, so Trump, so he pulls back, and it turns out there he goes. He's making deals for a good certain amount of land in Greenland. Gonna take control of all the military base, the areas where the military bases are. Boom. And he's glad-handing this one. He's backslapping that one. They dig him. They like him. And then he goes and he announces his Board of Peace. International Board of Peace. And he says they're down to little fires now, Trump said of the situation in the Palestinian enclave in Gaza, which has been shattered by more than 2 years fighting. This from the New York Post. We can put them out very easily. Trump was the first to sign the charter inaugurating the board and was joined on stage by officials from more than 20 other countries. White House official previously told the Post that Trump had extended the peace board invite to 56 countries so far. About 30 are expected to join, while certain European leaders, including Emmanuel Macron, as well as Ukraine, I guess that would be Zelensky, have turned down the invitation over concerns about Russian President Vladimir Putin's inclusion and possible undermining of the United Nations. Well, plenty of win there. And by the way, he eventually told Canada, basically, F off, which is magnificent. That little Mark Carney, that Napoleon in beaver pelts up there in Canada. I'm so tired of his act is just so lame and so, up yours. It really is. It's so obnoxious. He's such an obnoxious creep, Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister. A real jerk. He's just a jerk. Doesn't see the forest through the trees, or he does and he just doesn't like it because he's just a socialist and a Canadian. Come on, he's Canadian. Flipping Canadians. Anyway, so we got that to talk about. We got the weather coming. We got all this weather coming. Like I said, it's just cold without the fun, right? I started down that path a few minutes ago. No more fun movies. There's no Rudolph to go to. There's no abominable snow. There's no one foot in front of the other. No, now it's just don't put one foot in front of the other too fast or you'll slip and fall on the black ice and crack your skull wide open. That's what we should do. We should write songs for like blizzard conditions. That's what we should do. Oh, you better not go outside tonight. You better not go. I'll tell you why. You're gonna die. Okay, it's 22 minutes past the hour, and we'll go right back here on the Red Apple Audio Networks. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, 1-800-848-9222. Stay right there.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
If you're starting this new year wanting more control of your health instead of leaving it to a broken system, then the pharmacy for you is All Family Pharmacy. You see, they help people get access to essential medications, including some that the big chain pharmacies make it hard to get or refuse to even carry. That's why so many families rely on them. When everyone around you is getting sick and you want to prepare, you need All Family Pharmacy. You're tired of dealing with insurance and want affordable medications, you need All Family Pharmacy. And when your doctors refuse to prescribe ivermectin and treat you like you're out of line for asking intelligent questions, you need All Family Pharmacy. See, the process is quite simple. You order online, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your medications shipped to your door. They carry antibiotics, Tamiflu, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, mebendazole, and all of your everyday necessary medications and more. So if you haven't already, switch to a pharmacy that you can rely on. You can do so by going to allfamilypharmacy.com/stone, and please use STONE10 as your code to save 10% on your next purchase.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. You never take advice. Someday you'll pay.
Perfect music as we head into Winter Storm Fern, everybody. And now across the nation, every elected official is doing their best to sound unique and important and informed. And they're just going to ask you to constantly, please, we're just going to ask, we have mayor, every mayor. Hello there, mayor, every mayor from every city in America. Listen, we're just asking people, they could please, just avoid the roads, stay home unless it's absolutely necessary. And even if it's not, you don't want to, if you don't have to go outside, if you don't have to travel, then don't. Let the plows do their job. We have workers out there. Please let them check in on the elderly. Don't exert yourself because if you shovel snow, you'll have a heart attack. And if you have a heart attack, then we have to call the ambulance. And if the ambulance comes, then the ambulance has to get through the snow. And if the ambulance gets stuck in the snow, so everybody, it's such a broken, flippant record. These elected officials who just cannot wait to get onto the morning show, or Hi, Mary and Steve. It's great to be with you on Good Morning Roanoke. Yeah. Look, we know the drill. I've been talking to Chief Leonard, and Chief Leonard says that we're just gonna go ahead and shoot anyone outside on site. Is he kidding? We're not going to shoot. I mean, I have spoken to Chief Leonard, but that was just a joke. We're not shooting anybody for being out in the snow. I mean, this isn't COVID after all. But anyway, it's, Mamdani is going to be the bad guy of the hour on Monday. We'll talk about, I'll tell you a little bit about his announcement earlier on Friday. Mamdani is going to hell for this one. This is right up there with his anti-Semitism. We'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, let's, I'm going to try this on my own here. Let's go to John on line 1. John, good morning in Hell's Kitchen. How are you, Pally?
TJ, what's happening?
Hey, Kazarich, how are you?
Kazarich over here.
Hey.
We're Irish guys. What's wrong with us?
I don't know, just trying.
Too much eggplant. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Trump, Michael Corleone, the whole world. Because we have thermonuclear submarines to the south and to the north of us, and everyone knows that. Mm-hmm. And all he wants to do is protect our hemisphere. Mm-hmm. So that's why these clowns are listening.
Right.
Also, another thing that gets me about these demo rats, and I said it, these demo rats, is they're making money hand over fist on Wall Street right now. Mm-hmm. Give it back.
Yeah.
Give it to charity. Give it to people. Give it to us. Give it to me. I'll do. Give it to you and me. We can make a movie.
Sure.
Another thing.
Yeah.
I love this guy Scott Bessent. Mm-hmm. He's just cold.
Yep.
He's just straight.
Yep.
He's as smart as a whip.
Yep.
Now, here's what I had to do.
And the
today.
left hates him because he's gay.
Oh,
and
married
married with kids. They hate his guts.
They won't dare say a word about it.
Right.
They won't dare say it because, their hypocrisy only goes so far.
Exactly.
Now, today in the neighborhood here on the stoop, I had to make a deal with all these little kids to tell them on Sunday how to make snowballs, and all of them are allowed to hit me with a snowball.
Nice.
The concept of making snowballs,
right?
They don't understand it. Another thing, Newsom. Let's talk about this clown, Newsom.
Right.
Sitting there with Soros' son, Houmadine Abin's husband,
right?
Who hates Jews, who causes all this trouble, and this guy Newsom crashes this thing. He needs a snowball in that haircut, knock a few of them hair plugs out. To be quite honest with you,
yeah.
And I promise you, at
Yes.
some point in the next 48 hours,
Yes.
they're going to blame this snow on Trump.
Yeah, they'll find a way. They'll find a reason to blame him.
Trump brought it on. It's a diversion. Where's the Epstein tapes? It's snowing. Where's the Epstein tapes?
You know what? But again, you know what? Isn't it amazing? I was on a television network earlier, and again, and the conversation went to to all the crap that Trump has taken for this Board of Peace and for not for uninviting Canada, and it's like only this guy can put together a board dedicated to world peace,
Absolutely.
and they give him crap for it.
So I was just in the Dominican Republic for about 10 days, relaxing.
Nice.
And I went to an area that was all Canadians.
Oh boy.
And they all kept saying to me, "We have a prime minister. We have a prime minister. You have an emperor." I was like, "Why don't you just drown yourselves, all these? Are you kidding me? Are you?" And then this clown that they have now.
Yeah. Oh, Mark
And you know
Carney.
what?
Mark
They
Carney.
will
Yep.
They will benefit. So you know what I said to them, TJ? I said, "What part of Canada are you from?" And they said, "We're from Montreal." I said, "Well, I'm from southern Canada, New York City." They didn't like that.
Yeah.
They didn't like that.
Those,
but listen, you got to be easy on the brine because you know what I'm saying.
It does
easy
do the
on
trick.
That brine.
Easy on the brine, everybody. Pace yourself on the brine. John, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for calling, man.
Peace, man.
Peace right back at you, baby.
Make a snowball.
Yeah, and throw it at somebody. There's no point in having a snowball if you don't throw it at somebody.
Gently throw it at someone. Be on the board of peace.
And not in the face. Not in the face.
That's right. No face.
No face. Bye, buddy.
Face.
Take care, John. We'll talk to you later.
Right.
There goes John in Hell's Kitchen. 1-800-848-9222. Yeah, it's Trump just right in their face. Won the week. And Newsom ended up being the taking the brunt of a bunch of jokes. Al Gore, his name was dropped, and because he tried to be a tough guy, tried to be a cool guy, a funny guy, and it blew up in his face. He was booing our Secretary of Commerce, and and that blew up in his face, trying to be all cute. Al Gore, by the way, in a week that Bill and Hillary Clinton were, I believe, properly found to be in contempt of Congress. And then we got to hear, in the same week, we heard Bill and Hillary Clinton in the news. We got to hear Al Gore in the news because he was in Davos talking. I forget how good my Al Gore is. He was in Davos. They're representing all environmentalists. Oy Vaismere. God almighty, if we never see that guy again, right? Oh, my God. Just one of the worst people in the world. One of the worst people in the world. Just vile. Yeah. The one area, and I'm going to get to our phones in a moment. The one area that Trump stubbed his toe this week. And he almost got out of it like a perfect week. I mean, and the president is never going to have a perfect week because you can't be that authentic and that unvarnished, unpolished. As polished as he is, it's because he's unpolished. It's because it's organic. Everything the guy comes out of his mouth, everything comes out of his mouth, he believes. It's real. It's earnest. And that's why sometimes it's ham-fisted. And sometimes it's offensive. It just is. Sometimes the words don't, roll off his tongue. They tumble out his mouth onto the floor and explode into blood and awful bits. And one of those examples was when I think he was on Air Force One coming back from Davos, I think. Either way, he said to a reporter, they were talking about Afghanistan. and something about England came up, and he said how the British military kind of hung back, that they weren't really quite up towards the front. Not ideal. Completely inaccurate. They lost nearly 500 soldiers, did the UK, in Afghanistan over the years. So, and he didn't, he hasn't walked it back. And and of course, and good for him, Keir Starmer finally had a moment where he could go after Trump and not worry about, ruffling Trump's feathers, because it was, truly a screw up, ill-advised. And so Keir Starmer goes after him. There's a woman named Kemi Badenoch. She is the leader of the Conservative Party in England. And she went to town on Trump. Yowza. Yikes. She gave him a brutal punch. And, he earned it. It was ill-advised. 1-800-848-9222. And I'm going to go I'm going to do this. I love doing this. It's fun. I'm going to go to Pamela, line 2. Pamela.
Hey.
Buenos dias, lady.
Oh, same back at you.
Thank you.
I just love this new Dean Martin swagger.
Yeah.
Trump. All that was missing was he's got to get the rights to that "Cold as Ice" song for his intro into Davos. You guys are cold as ice.
Yeah.
And he's got to have the fake cocktail in his hand because he doesn't drink.
Right.
But then again, Dean Martin had a fake cocktail too.
Right. Dean Martin drank Martinelli's apple juice on stage.
Yep. And I just, I was doing stuff while he was, they had the sound bites on. And then all of a sudden I just dropped everything. It brought me back, like you said. When I was a little girl, I used to watch the Dean Martin roast and everything.
Right? It's the best.
He was just that cool swagger. He's got to develop that. That was great. And he was relaxed. He took a breath and he said, "Oh, you people, you Europeans, you're just, I can't believe what you're doing to your countries.
Yeah.
It's a mess."
And he played it.
I loved it.
And he played it. You know what? Pamela, I tell you what, man. Every week there's a moment when you call in where I go, I got to watch my step with some of these callers, because sometimes this thing gets out of my hands and you guys are really far more deserving of this show than me. You nailed this. No, you nailed this. This did not occur to me. There is, and it's not a bravado, it is a cool swagger that we saw this week in Davos. Maybe because these are, maybe it's all the dough that's in that. Maybe it's the swanky, swaggy surroundings of Davos, Switzerland. Maybe it's all of that. But it brought out a certain comfort level where, he was kind of, if he had his shirt open, a couple of buttons and a couple of chains, it would have worked.
Absolutely.
He was chill.
Did he have a few drinks before this? Because somebody who's hyper like that, actually, and I'm not recommending this, but it is known that people who are super hyper and attention deficit disorder benefit from a few drinks.
Sure.
It brings them down a few levels.
No, without a doubt.
Them.
Yeah. No, and he was cool.
Yeah, he was actually cool.
And they respond. Like I said, he got laughs and again, when I heard the laugh and the Emmanuel reference to Macron and all that, and then he gets these, and I said, oh my God, he's just going to coast on this visit. And it was like a 2-day love fest. And and then he just wins and wins. And again, right in the face of, Monday, all the predictions about he's going to Davos, going to ruffle a lot of feathers, going to piss people off, Nope. He won the week again.
Yeah. And this is going to go down into my collection of the Brat Pack at the Sands.
Yeah.
Dean Martin roast, Johnny Carson's The Best Of, and Trump's appearance at Davos.
I love it. It's great. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump. Yeah, I know. It's perfecto. Pamela, love you. Thank you so much. Probably talk to you tomorrow morning. Be back. Don't run away on me. Thank you, Pamela. You're awesome. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Talking about Trump in Davos winning the week. Winning the week in the right, flying in the face of every pundit out there. On both sides-ish. On TV. Man, the TV ones. No, better watch his step. No, doesn't want to overplay his hand. No, wants to know his surroundings. You don't want to overexpose. No, don't want. This guy does what he wants. Now, I am still deathly afraid of the coming midterms. But I'm hearing, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrongin', but I'm hearing that we can expect a midterm convention. Republicans move forward with plan. Let me see. What is this? I want to put it right here. Boom. Put it there. Okay, let's see. No, I don't want that. I'm trying to. We can look into that. But it's my understanding. I was nosing around and towards the middle of the day yesterday, and there was something popping up, and I remember it popping up a couple of months ago in passing. I heard anecdotally that Trump was having this bright idea, and it is a bright idea, of doing a midterm version of a Republican National Convention. And that would be magnificent. Because you know what it would virtually do? It would virtually put Trump on the ticket. Like psychologically, mentally, visually, optics. Because Republicans tend to really, really show up when Donald Trump is actually on the ticket. If they're actually planning a midterm convention, a midterm, like massive, like 2-day in friendly territory, probably in Florida, and they bang it out and they bring out all the stars, that would be a stroke of genius. No party has ever, that would be magnificent. Let's pop over to Eduardo, line 3, down in Tampa. Eduardo, how are you?
Yeah, TJ. I was going to call you the last 2 weekends, but didn't make it.
Yeah. I was very disappointed in you, but okay. But now you're back.
It's because I'm watching. You're talking international.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm watching? I don't know if you've heard of this movie, but it's called Similar Sense of Snow.
What's it called?
Similar Sense of Snow. Gabriel Byrne and Julia Ormond, Richard Harris.
Yes, Richard Harris.
You remember?
I know the movie because the title is so funky. I don't believe I've seen it.
Yeah, well, I'm watching it because if you remember some of it, it takes place in Denmark and Greenland.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's very current events.
Yeah.
Dig you. Look at you choosing your films based on international current events.
I gotta see that because that's in the news. I go, let me see that because I've seen it a few times on my collection here. So
hey, so listen, so you're down in Tampa, Eduardo, and I've had a bunch of friends over the last couple of weeks who have taken refuge. They've gone down on their annual jaunts down to Florida, and at least last week they were met with some damn cold weather. Has it been chilly in Tampa or what? What's going on down there right now?
Yeah, so in the morning, and I got to warm up my car even over here in the morning. But midday, I'm looking at my car, it says 83.
Oh, that's great. Oh, okay. I'd had people complaining.
Yeah, it's the morning, it's like 50s, 60s, but then midday,
it cooks right up.
Good old 80s, yeah.
So you think? I saw the note that you said to Bill. So you think that the winter storm coverage is overblown?
Yeah, and I'm from Chicago.
Right.
You already know that.
Yeah.
And my brother, by the way, is visiting here. He got here in November. I go, you're so lucky that you're not in Chicago right now. He's going to go back party in the end of March.
Oof.
But Yeah, and I even watch the English and Spanish. It's the same thing on a Spanish,
Yeah.
But, this has all happened, you notice, like, after COVID, everybody runs out and cleans out the market with foods and...
Yes, all the panic buying.
And all that.
All the panic buying.
That kind of, like, started it.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. And people get freaked out and people go and they look, you know what? I think about, look, this one might actually be a bit nuts. They're talking like this thing could get up to for this part of New York, for example, in the New York City area, they're talking 18 inches here, like surrounding New York, right here, let alone I'm an hour north of New York where I live. I could be looking
Boston?
at
your neighbor Boston. I even heard about Boston too. Yeah.
Yeah, they could get 2 feet. I mean, I could get north. I could get almost 2 feet where I live. And this one they're going to get it worse down south. Now, the people in like Mississippi and Georgia and Texas and, Atlanta, they're going to get it because they're going to get like the warmer version of it. It's going to freeze up and it's going to be ice. That's bad because that takes down power lines. Up where I live and up here, it's right now it's like 11 degrees outside in New York. Right now it's 11. Wow. It's going to be down to like 4 degrees by the time I get in the car to go home later. And because it's going to be so cold, the air is going to be so dry, we're going to get like 2 feet of powder snow. This is going to be really light. Like you can clear your path with like a leaf blower. I mean,
Yeah.
Relatively speaking. But yeah, so this is going to be a hell of a lot of snow, but it's going to be really light, like lightweight. It's not going to be heavy and like hopefully it's not going to be, but the people down south, that's going to be lousy. That's going to suck.
Yeah, because they're not veterans like you guys, like us.
Like you, like Chicago? Oh, my God, Chicago. Right. I've never known cold like Chicago. Eduardo, I love when you call. Thank you, buddy. Hey, I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hey, okay, have a good one.
Tell your brother I said hey. And there goes Eduardo. It's 2:47. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mark and Jerry and Max and Pete and you. Right here on Another Side of Midnight, 1-800-848-9222. Winter storm. Trump winning and winning and winning. I know Jerry, it looks like Jerry wants to talk about sobriety. That's always welcome on a Saturday morning. It is a Saturday morning. It's the 24th of January. And eventually we're going to talk about why Mamdani just solidified himself as like the worst person in the world. And it's right up there with his anti-Semitism and his globalizing the Intifada. He's globalized the Intifada on fun. What a jerk. What a jerk. What a jerk. What a jerk. When we come back on Another Side of Midnight with TJ on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Recently, reports out of Washington involving Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell have raised serious questions about the future independence of the Fed. Markets reacted fast and decisively. Gold and silver surged to record highs because when confidence in the dollar or the financial system is shaken, investors run to real assets. If you're concerned or just trying to understand what this could mean for your portfolio, your IRA, and your financial future, my friends at Goldline can help. Precious metals analysts immediately revised their gold and silver forecast higher, and the outlook is more bullish than ever. Goldline is the only gold and silver company I trust, and they'll walk you through how precious metals may protect you against growing financial risk. Call Goldline now at 800-757-GOLD and mention Joe. That's 800-757-4653. If you reach voicemail, leave a message. They will call you back, or visit goldline.com. But I urge you to call now, 800-757-GOLD.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah.
When we finally kiss goodnight,
I'll hate going out in the storm.
but if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm.
Now, this really could be played like we're doing now because there's no mention of Christmas in that. You love me. It's just a whole lot of cuddling and sex. And you know what? Get yourself a chubby lover. How about that? A wise friend of mine said that, you know what kind of weather this is? This is chubby loving weather. Get yourself a chubby lover. You don't need no skinny lover. Now I'm Dean Martin. Jerry. We gotta go. Mr. Martin, I'm cold. It's freezing and I can't get warm in bed. Jerry, you gotta get yourself a chubby lover. Mr. Martin. So I was down at the corner store and I was trying to find a sweater to sleep in because, you know, I get really cold. And when the window, and I closed there's a crack in the window and I can't afford to fix it, Mr. Martin. And so there's a breeze coming in and I get all chilly. And so I went down to go find a sweater to wear. And I got a sweater and I'm going to say, Jared, Jerry, you're going about it the whole wrong way. Thank you very much. We got one person in the audience. One person loving it. Jerry, what you got to do is now. Now, you know that fine little lass that you've been talking to down at the corner store? Yes, Mr. Martin. Her name is Betsy. Okay. All right. Now, Betsy's a nice girl. But what you need is a Bertha. You need yourself. Now go on down there. This is my suggestion there, Jerry. Yes, Mr. Martin. You go on down the store and you make a left. And right down to the left there, just instead of going into the store, there's a beauty salon, Bertha's Beauty Salon. And you go into Bertha's Beauty Salon, you go right up to that front desk and you ask that girl, say, where is Bertha? Now, Bertha's going to clink. You can't miss her. Right. Okay. How can I miss her? Because when she comes in the room, that's all you're going to see is Bertha. So I'm getting you talking into my ears. So, oh my God, you see right there. I could go down that rabbit hole and talk about Big Bertha at Bertha's Beauty Salon. Oh my God, maybe we'll do that an hour too. We'll put together an episode of Big Bertha's Beauty Salon and Jerry Lewis getting himself a chubby lover. But anyway, that's what this weather is, gang. It's chubby lover, and now it's a tongue twister. Chubby lover weather, brought to you by Tempur-Pedic mattresses. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go over to Mark on line 4. Mark, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. I like your show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I like Lionel. He's so excellent. So
yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm in good company. I'm in good company with Mr. Lionel.
After I'm done with my thing, I went to a little your producer to make a little hand clapping. Okay, I'm going to tell you, okay. Tim Walsh, he's going to redeem himself and take the place of Ice. He's going to take the Samoans that don't get caught, and he's going to take them to the Winter Olympics for speed ice skating. He's going to shoot his cap gun, and they're going to present him with the lead around their neck, and that way Tim Walsh can catch them all and put them all back. And Tim Walsh will end up being the hero.
So the Somalis are going to hook up Walsh. I wasn't following you there for a second, but I think I caught up at the end. I like that.
Tim's going to shoot the cap gun.
Yes.
And the Somalians are going to speed down that truck and beat every other nation.
Right.
And represent America. And then once they get presented with the lead coin on the neck,
right,
then Tim Walsh will be able to catch them and take them all back.
See? That is a perfect scenario. That's exactly what Tim Walsh needs, an exact scenario like that in order to get back in anybody's good graces. And Mark, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you calling in. And by the way, speak of appreciation, Paul Ramsey chimed in. Paul got a hold of me on social media, and yes, it is Foster Brooks. I don't know why. I know exactly who Foster Brooks is. The name and the face, they go together in my head, but for some reason, it's one of those things. One of those people and names where there is a weird disconnect that happens in my formerly soused skull. And speaking of formerly soused, when we come back from the top of the news, top of the hour, we're going to talk to Jerry in Jersey. He has a funny story to tell. I want to hear it. I just, for some reason, there's always a disconnect, and I can never remember Foster Brooks' name. And I am a student of comedy, especially that era of comedy. And he is literally one of a kind, Foster Brooks. But my gratitude to Paul, for chiming in and giving me that info. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I will now sleep much better. Even though it was a Google away, that helped. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The name of this song,
When Bertha got off of her stump,
Big Bertha Butt.
the whistles were blowing, and everybody did the bump.
Did the bump.
But all the time, Bertha had been working on a goodie.
Uh-huh.
Now folks call it the Bertha Butt Boogie.
The Bertha Butt Boogie.
Only Tony and Bill know about this song.
No question.
And we have turned it into a winter song. This time next year, it's going to be a Christmas carol. A big girl named Carol. All right, gang, it's top of the hour here on Another Side of Midnight, where we are talking about get yourself a chubby lover. This is Chubby Lover Weekend for Chubby Lover weather. Sort of really fun insulation for your bedtime. All right, gang. When we come back, Jerry is first up. And we talk to Max and Pete and you on Another Side of Midnight on the Red Apple Audio Networks with me, TJ McCormack, 1-800-848-9222. Get in line.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
My hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here. And it's 4:30 and I'm shifting gear. When she's lonely and the longing gets too much, she says the cable coming in from above. Don't need to phone at all. We've got a thing that's a cold red out love. We've got a wave in the air. Red out love.
Good morning there, gang. Hello there. Second hour of Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. 7 minutes past the hour. I'm just gonna go ahead and pronounce some silent letters from time to time. See if you're catching on. 1-800-848-9222. And So Mamdani, and I mean, I hate starting a sentence with that vile word, but Mamdani is, you know, as we know, anti-Semitic, loves the jihad, loves the for the river to the sea, loves the keffiyeh, loves that keffiyeh, baby. You know, that's that scarf, the Palestinian scarf, the little black and white houndstooth. I refer to it as basically it's a swastika you can get away with wearing. And the anti-Semites just love them a swastika. So Mamdani, who is already just awful, evil, the worst thing to come down the pike in a long, long time, pulled the wool and got in and won. Anyway, he solidified his place in hell yesterday. On Friday, when he announced that no matter what the forecast, no matter what the weather on Monday, there's going to be school for the New York City school children. No, and they used the term, no traditional snow day. Now, there was a stretch of my career in between a political role with a couple of elected officials and a return to media and some television and now here. And I had the opportunity to work for Cardinal Dolan, the beloved Cardinal Archbishop of New York, soon to be emeritus. He's on his way out. And that's a conversation for another day. If a cardinal can get screwed over, I believe this one did. I love the guy. Anyway, I worked for Cardinal Dolan here in New York in the Archdiocese of New York. I was the director of communications for Catholic schools for about 5.5, 6 years. And there was one time coming out of COVID where I had, if I do say so myself, a moment of absolute brilliance. And so basically, if you remember, public schools were crapping the bed all over the place during COVID. And so government schools, public schools, secular schools were all crap in the bed. They were scared of their own shadow. They were scared of COVID. They were scared of the teachers. And the teachers were all scared of COVID. There was like a 0.00001% transmission rate within schools. You could basically say that there was that transmission did not happen in schools. It occurred, but it didn't happen. How's that for semantics? Anyway, spoken like a true communications director for a school system. Anyway, Catholic schools in New York, especially, we blazed the trail. We set the standard. We set the gold standard for being open safely. God, I still have the talking points at the tip of my tongue. We were open safely for upwards of 70,000 students at that time. And yes, we wired up the schools over that summer of 2020. We wired up the schools for enhanced internet, and got just a boatload of Chromebooks and laptops and that, you know, and we outfitted all the kids, all the students, all the teachers, all the families. You know, everybody got the devices, And so, that happened in very short order, actually. I'm sorry. When COVID first broke out so that we could go remote, because we were remote. Catholic schools and all schools were really closed really early on for the rest of that spring. And then it was that summer that we got up and running, and Catholic schools were open that September. We were the only show in town here in New York. We were open in person for in-person learning. And later that winter, even though we were all set up for remote learning, later that winter, we had a big old blizzard here in New York. And I remember saying to our superintendent at the time, I said, hey, let's not just, you would put out a press release about a snow day, Catholic schools will be closed or whatever. I said, let's go for it here. And let's say that even though first of all, I said, let's close because there's a win in this here. Because we were in the process of telling everybody, stay with Catholic schools. Look, here's a great reason. Look at what we're doing. Look at the ingenuity. Look at how we're doing this. Better than any multi-billion-dollar public school district system. I said to the superintendent, I said, let's close the school for the day. Let's do a snow day. But let's do in our press release. Let's talk about a traditional snow day. Catholic schools in the Archdiocese of New York will be closed for, and this is not an announcement for New York on Monday. I'm not making it out. I'm telling you a story, folks. We said that Catholic schools will be closed for a traditional snow day. And in that statement, in that press release, we said we understanding the value and the tradition in American education of a snow day, time spent with family, hot chocolate, snowballs, snow forts, snowmen. If you have a fireplace, a fire. In New York City, if you don't have a fireplace, a fire. I don't know. But we went out and we went wide. And do you know every single news outlet in the city of New York and the environs picked up on our press release and the use of the term traditional snow day and referred to our references to traditional values, family, contact, a break, a mental health day, all those connotations, hot cocoa, games, time spent with. Boom. And there is Zoran Mamdani telling everyone, no, and he used the term, and I believe to stick it in people's faces. I believe the guy is a hateful, cold, cruel guy. I think the guy, every now and then, I think a leftist, I think a socialist, somebody that believes in the power of government and the overreach of government. I believe every now and then somebody of that mindset, of that ilk, likes to just tweak everybody and remind them of just how dark and menacing government can be, while at the same time trying to get you to buy into just how generous and loving and cradle to grave they should be. This is a little dig. This is him giving you the finger and also giving you the across the neck, that whole, remember that? That's little signal. That's him giving you an evil wink saying, I got the power. So yeah, made a really dark, creepy, nasty announcement that regardless of any forecast or any reality on the ground, there will be no traditional snow day for any New York City school students. And there have not been snow days. There has not been a reason to close schools yet, especially down here in New York City. This would be like a one-off for the whole year. We're already at the end of January. February's coming up. Probably not going to be another dump like this. Certainly not like this. And it takes a lot to close schools in New York. New York City's about to get a foot of snow. That never happens. Never, ever, 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 ever. About to get a foot of snow in Midtown. That's certainly going to close schools. But no, kids are going to have to go online, log in. You know what? If Minneapolis can call for people to walk out of school in order to demand whatever, I don't understand a connection, demand an end to ICE or whatever, I think we should just call for kids to not log in on Monday. Give an FU back to Mamdani. Give the finger back to Mamdani. Give a finger to the mayor and say, you know what, parents, tell Mamdani, you know what, I love my kids. There's something magical about a snow day, especially on a Monday. I say New York City parents need to tell Mamdani to kiss off and don't log your kids into any remote learning on Monday. How's that? All right, 1-800-848-9222. When we come back, we go straight to Jerry, and then everybody, and then you at 1-800-848-9222. We come back, we go straight to Jerry for his story. It's 19 minutes past the hour. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We will be right back.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
You know, I thought my dogs, Mimi and Pee-wee 2.0, were just getting old, losing that spark. But a few weeks ago, after adding rough greens to their food, I saw a marked difference. They got their energy back. Their coats looked amazing. And they're playing like puppies again. Rough greens totally changed the game. Rough greens isn't some food gimmick. It's a live nutritional supplement you just sprinkle right on their food. No need to switch, kibble, or wet food. Just add it in. It's packed with probiotics, vitamins, omega oils, stuff that helps their joints, their digestion, and even their immune support. Why does it work? Because dog food is dead food. It's been cooked and processed until all the good stuff is gone. Rough Greens brings back the nutrition our pets really need. I don't just recommend Rough Greens. I depend on it to keep my dogs both happy and healthy. Right now, Rough Greens is offering a free Jumpstart trial bag. You just cover the cost of shipping. Go to roughgreens.com and use promo code STONE. That's roughgreens.com, promo code STONE.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
School should be out on Monday everywhere where the kids... There hasn't been any snow days to speak of around. Certainly not in New York City. And Zoran Mamdani saying that kids can just go pound sand and they're not going to get a day. That's awful. That's awful. Tough stuff here in New York, by the way, in the last couple hours. And I saw this thing flash over Citizen app. And I didn't say anything because I wanted to try to find some independent confirmation about this fire. But there's like no live local TV. We're the live local radio here in New York. And so you wait. And sure enough, the New York Post came through and It is, there's how many alarms? This is really scary. 3485 Bavona Street in the Bronx. There's a big time fire since midnight. A 4-alarm fire. A 17 or 20 story apartment building in the Bronx, and it was one of those big ones, and people hanging out of windows, and not good. And on a night like this with freezing temperatures, that thing's going to be insane. So prayers to everybody in the Bronx and to all of New York's bravest in the FDNY. Godspeed, and hopefully that thing comes to an end real quickly. But it was a midnight 4-alarm fire in the Bronx on Bavona Street. 1-800-848-9222. Jerry on line 5. Thanks for hanging in there, my sober buddy. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Okay, TJ. This past August, I celebrated 40 years.
God bless. Jeez.
And what the non-club members may not know is that, speaking of traditions, we give these coins to each other.
Yes.
It's about the size of a silver dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Stamped with the year sober.
Mm.
So at the end of 40 years, I have this drawer full of coins that, all it does is way down the furniture. But,
sure.
So I had to move them.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wanted the little nightstand I used to keep the coins in. So I used one of the company trucks that I had, and I just take the coins loosely and I drop them in the center console.
Okay.
And don't think about it again. But about a week or two later, one of my guys said something that I overheard to the other guy. He said, Jerry's a professional drinker. He has medals.
He has medals for his drinking. That's great.
That's it.
That's great. Oh my God. So 40 years. So let's see. So
1980.
1980 is when you got. So what was your drink of choice when you were in the cups?
The next one.
The next one. Oh boy, you have been around. You know that. Yeah. And can you, if you don't mind, I'm curious. What was it? What was if you don't mind, what was your rock bottom? What precipitated your surrendering your life and your will?
Well, I know people think that there is one crowning thing. I don't know. It might have been I went to jail again.
Ooh.
And
yeah, that'll do it.
If I went down the list, it sounds like a tour of the East Coast jails.
Really?
But,
what were you, like?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, what would you wind up in jail for? Well, I mean, were you a fighter? Were you drinking and I mean, like, did you get popped for DUI, or was it that you were just like
that was the first one, but
Mm-hmm.
I was a general pain in the ass when I drank, and no wonder I was always in trouble. But
right. And by the grace of God, you do you remember like that? Do you remember your last drink?
I certainly do, but you may enjoy this. I used to refer to Bergen County Jail as my last gated community.
Buddy, we are happy, joyous, and free, and we are a funny bunch. And way to go, buddy! Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for the stories, and keep coming back. And
I was thinking of the way you conduct yourself, and
yes,
they say it's a program of attraction, not promotion.
Yes, sir.
And you have a way of weaving in and out and educating people
Yeah.
I remember I did not expect all the laughter the first time I walked into a meeting.
Right.
I remember I came home, my wife said, "How was it?" I said, "It was terrific. Everybody laughed, but the best part is they laughed at all the wrong places."
Yeah.
I said, this one guy said he got fired that afternoon, and everybody said, "Congratulations." I said, "I'm going to like this place."
Yep. And so you stuck around for 40 years. That's brilliant.
I did.
Way to go, buddy. Thank you, Jerry. I'm grateful that you called. I'm grateful that you're there. Thank you, pal.
Well, we got to keep getting those medals.
Indeed. Yeah. Got it, definitely. And everyone's welcome. Thank you, Jerry. I'm gonna jump. I appreciate your call, and it's good to hear from you.
Thank you.
God bless. Thank you, sir. 1-800-848-9222. Yeah, man. There is something about that laughter. I mean, you be in an AA meeting, and you'll hear somebody telling a story about, a terrible car wreck, or having their stomach pumped, or like a really bad detox. And there will be jokes within those stories. There will be moments of laughter, not just nervous laughter. Not just, cover up the pain, sort of distract it. No, like comedy laughter. Ha ha. It's, And that's the, again, we talk about, always happy to talk about whatever you like to talk about. Definitely take cues from what I throw out there, but invariably, whatever you wish to discuss. And that being said, Saturday mornings, it's always welcome on a Sunday morning, but on Saturday mornings in particular, we do throw in the opportunity to have some conversation about sobriety and about addiction of all kinds. And what Jerry said touches on the magic of 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. They laugh at the wrong places. They laugh when normal people would be gasping. We laugh when normal people would be gasping. And it's part of the destigmatizing of the whole thing. Just being in a room with people and hearing your story being told by a complete stranger. Gabish? Somebody who has lived. When you walk into AA for the first time, you feel like the world's piece of blank. Feeling like a piece of garbage. And you're the worst person in the world. And you are the lowest person. You are the lowest of the low, and you feel low, and you are sad, and you are broken, and you are dizzy with exhaustion, sweating. It just, and all of a sudden you hear somebody else talk about a moment that you recognize, a moment in inebriation that you recognize. And there is something so magical and so efficient and effective about hearing somebody else go, not just experiencing what you experienced, going through what you experienced, but literally going through it and coming out the other side. Here you are in a church basement with a bunch of drunks, feeling you are all alone with your experiences, and you're the only one who could have possibly brought this kind of damage to your life and your family. And then you hear some stranger over there describe exactly what's embarrassing you now, or giving you shame or pain. Immediately, the pain and the embarrassment and the loneliness lift immediately. And with that lifting of that shame and that stigma, what is allowed to then flood in is a bit of redemption and a bit of release and a bit of understanding of yourself. And so begins the process. One drunk talking to another. One addict talking to another. One gambler talking to another. One chronic shopper talking to another. One sex addict talking to another, which sounds like a perfect world. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Pete in New Jersey. Good morning, Pete in New Jersey. How are you, Pally?
Blessed are the stupid and the willfully ignorant, as long as it is with compassion. That is the message, the Slate of Mind message, specially designed for all the Catholics, former Catholics, and Conference of Bishops for the last 45 years, starting with around Bill Clinton and afterwards. It's largely former Catholics and Notre Dame Catholics who vote in all the leftist radicals like Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, Obama, and all the rest of it. Blessed are the stupid and the willfully ignorant, as long as it is with love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, with that love. Hey, and today was, you know what didn't, I mean, did it, I know it made the news on Fox, maybe one or two other outlets, but, and also a few other good news outlets. Today was the pro-life march, the Right to Life march in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And always, nice, right? What a day to...
By the way, any thinker person, phasing out the Catholic Church from within and all of civilization of the West goes with it. That has always been in the 20th century the diagram of the leftist revolution, the United Nations organization, all the rest of it. You have to phase out and disintegrate from within the Catholic Church, and all of Europe, Canada, North America, and everything else goes with it.
When did you and I'm genuinely curious, when did you have this I guess an epiphany or an understanding? When did you have this understanding of your understanding of the Catholic faith, of this? When did this reveal itself, and how?
I was very severely paralyzed for many, many years with advanced Lyme disease back when I didn't know anything much about it. And I lived for many, many years as a beggar. Okay?
Wow.
And people everywhere, people are generally, inside them, they want to do good, and they do. And people carried me over many decades of time, and I had my body and my emotions were dead in depression, but my intellect was wide open. And I like to read about Padre Pio, the saint with the stigmata in 1960. And he was allowed to see everybody's guardian angel, and he would be 16 hours a day in the Sacrament of Confession with hundreds of people online, and know all about you and your life when you came to him, and if you were sincere, he would help you and tell you what God's opinion of you is. And I thought, oh my God, I'm scared to death of myself, and my own foible. It's not possible to be afraid of God because he's everything beautiful and good, but we are terrified of our own memory of our own foible and out of control. And so then I started reading about the alleged appearances of the Queen of Heaven, Mary, all around the world.
Sure. Guadalupe, Lady of Knock. Yeah. All the appearances. Yeah.
Urbandale, Spain. And she trying to tell you all that you've been had, trying to tell the Conference of Catholic Bishops with their Jimmy Carter smile and all their photographs and teaching teaching all this liberation nonsense.
Hey, there's a few good ones. I love my Timmy Dolan. I love my Cardinal Dolan here in New York. I love His Eminence. He's a dear, brilliant man.
We're the sheep, and we're scared, and we have to help each other.
Yeah.
And having the information that's the miracle.
Yeah.
And the scripture says, His mercy is upon those who fear Him from generation to generation. Right there at Luke chapter 4, the Magnificat.
Wow. Dig you, man. Pete, you know your stuff, man. I'm grateful when you call him because I don't have that kind of, and I had a really great conversation, and thank you, Pete. I'm going to jump. I had a really great conversation. I won't say with who, but somebody everybody here knows this evening, and he and I were talking about this subject, about the Bible and about our understanding of our faith, and it was really, really, really great. Well, I mean, anytime you have a conversation with a really smart person, it's a real gift, and we'll get into it some other time. It was deep, and I think I need to explore some of our conversation a little bit before I comment, before I expound on it for you guys. But suffice to say, it was a gift. It was a gift. It was about an hour of conversation that I wasn't expecting, and it was a real treat. Lovely human being. 1-800-848-9222. Yeah, and here's a line. Drunks really tend to beat ourselves up. One of the first people that you have to, there's that famous of the 12 steps as one of the famous ones that like normal people know about is when, because sometimes normal people have been approached by drunks they know who are in recovery, and suddenly they're this alcoholic they love, this addict that they know is making amends. I don't know if you've ever been a part of that process. It is one of the truly freeing, liberating, cleansing gifts of sobriety within the 12 steps. And making amends, you see, now to a civilian, you would think, oh, well, yeah, that's for the person that you quote unquote wronged. You make amends, and it's part of, it's like a sacrifice you make as the alcoholic, and that's how you get better. Okay, that's a fair enough guess. That's a good stab at it, but it's not what it is. When you make amends, you're doing it for you. You're doing it for you because and proof of that is that the person who you're making amends with doesn't have to accept it. They don't have to take you up on it. They don't have to accept your amends and your apology for whatever. But by making that apology, you, the amendor, you, the apologist, you, the drunk, you get to, as another AA-ism, you get to embrace this new you. You get to move on with your new life, unencumbered by that resentment that you held towards that person, that they held towards you, because you know that you gave it a shot to make amends with them. That is now complete. That is now wrapped up. You have done it, whether or not they accept it. And it still counts. And ultimately, there's somebody that is arguably the most important person to make amends with, and that is one's self. This is the genius and the brilliance of 12-stepping. And I remember getting a pep talk from my sponsor telling me about letting myself off the hook. Got to look at, and you know what? And I was just a blind follower. I just blindly followed where my sponsor led me. My sponsor, Mickey, out in LA. And he said it, I did it literally because it worked for him and it worked for the guy who taught him and it worked for the guy who taught his sponsor and his sponsor before him. These things tend to run in like a family tree, like family traditions, ways of approaching steps and sobriety. And he said, you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to tell yourself, I'm letting you off the hook. You're the point. You're good enough. You're worth it. You're a good person. You're okay. I'm sorry. You're sorry. We're sorry. We're good. We're good now. You're okay. It's okay. And you're the point. If you ever worry about being what the hell's the point? If you ever look at the world and say, oh, Christ, what's the point? You're the point. Words of Mickey. You're the point. And that's what you tell yourself when you let yourself off the hook. Who could not benefit from that? Who amongst all of us right now on this broadcast, listening, yours truly yapping at you, who of us cannot benefit from looking in the mirror and saying, what resentments you have against yourself, let yourself off the hook. You're okay. It's all good. Go forward and do the right thing from now on. Live right. It's okay. Make amends to yourself. Oh my God. Lightening the load. It's magic. So yeah. If any of that rings a bell, and throughout the balance of the program into the next hour, if you or your loved one or a loved one or loved ones, or if there's a buddy or a pal or a girlfriend or an ex or a neighbor that you're worried about, somebody that you think their life might be unmanageable, especially if it's you. Sal in Staten Island, our friend that we haven't heard from since I was in England and we were talking over Christmas. Sal, are you around? You were in your car one night at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're on Staten Island. You're on like Highland Boulevard in Staten Island. Are you around there, Sally? If you are, send up a signal. Send up a signal, I'll throw you a line. The stained glass curtain you're hiding behind. So give us a call, Sal, if you're out there. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Richie on line 4. Richard.
Hey, TJ.
Hey, I didn't see the movie.
I knew
I'm
it.
sorry. I am sorry.
I was good. Oh my God, I had it all prepared.
Can I tell you what though? I mentioned it to my wife. I mentioned it to friends. I said, turns out Song Sung Blue. I said, this caller Richie was telling me about it. I said, I was all wrong. I thought it was a biography about Neil Diamond. I said, it's not. It's about a Diamond tribute act who's like a drunk and a thing and a thing. And I said, and I talked to an AA buddy of mine and I said, we got to go see this thing. I said, rave reviews from Richie. So I apologize. It was a bit of a busy week, and it was a short week with the holiday at the top.
I forgive you.
All right.
I got a quick story about The Godfather and Gay Talese, okay, my buddy.
Okay.
I got a book, Get Rid of the Gun, Get the Cannoli. I forget how the phrase goes. That's the title of the book. Lose the gun, take the cannoli.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Yeah. And it's a book, and I went through it in a whole day. It's about the making of The Godfather. And the whole pretty much page is about Gay Talese and mentions his wife, Nan. Now, I made copies of the pages that referenced her and him, and I sent it to her because last time I heard from him, he said he wasn't doing too good his eyesight. So he just got back to me. I got about a dozen of his postcards and everything I saved. And the book, there's something in the book. There was an after party wrap up from the film, and James Caan saying to Marlon Brando at the party, I got fame, I got a little bit of wealth. what I want is to be in love. So Marlon Brando says, I want that too, but just don't tell my wife.
Ah.
That's part of it. But check the book out if you want. But
I definitely will. I definitely will.
A fella kind of ripped me off one time, but that's another story.
What happened?
It happened. Well, he was a mechanic. He does it on the side, and I needed my truck. Needed some work, and I needed to pass inspection. He goes, I could do it for you. I said, you can? Yeah, I'll get you a decal and everything. Okay.
Huh.
And he got $300. I go, well, if I got to do it, I got to do it. I don't want to take it to inspection and get failed and everything, right?
Yeah.
So then later on, I'm talking to Rocky, my buddy that's plowing and tree work and stuff. He goes, go down to this guy in Randolph. He goes, do it for $75. I go, what? So he did it. Put the sticker on. He plugged something in. 2 minutes later, puts the sticker on and out the door. And I said to him, Jerry, like, what happened? He goes, what did you do for the $300? He goes, I don't remember. I go, I remember when I took you out for breakfast, what you ordered for breakfast. What do you mean you don't remember?
Know. Yeah.
So that, I was desperate. I just like, and then that was it. So,
yep, there you go.
I mean, it happens. I mean,
it does. And by the way, it's funny. It's funny you talk about going out for breakfast. As you're talking, Richie, I was going to say to everybody, doesn't Richie sound like somebody like you? I could literally be sitting at like a diner counter with you. You know what I mean? Like you'd sit down and you'd say, "Oh, you're getting you're doing the home fries," and I'd say, "Yeah, once in a while I'll indulge." And then next thing you know, I'm hearing about the sticker and the $300.
I was at a diner. It was on Route 3. I forget the name of the diner. Mick Jagger's. I was reading my post, and I had a coffee.
Yeah.
And I take a swallow of the coffee, and I burn myself. The guy poured coffee in my cup. You got to make a noise and tell me.
You can't sneak up with brand new hot coffee. You can't do that.
I screamed and go, what?
Oh, my God. Oh, is there a better... You know what? New York Post and a diner counter go together like gin and tonic, like Candor and Ebb, like Laurel and Hardy. There is nothing better and nothing more East Coast than walking into a diner and seeing like newspapers at the cash register.
Right. They let you have them.
And that's foreign.
A lot of times when I go in, I go, you want to buy a paper for $1? It's half red.
Right.
I go, what are you talking about? I half read it. It's $2. So, and I leave the paper. Nobody wants to read the paper. They're all looking at their phone.
And and the days, and also used to be a time when you can get on a train, and you don't have to buy a paper. You just sort of walk around a train, just wait and look around, see if you find a Post, a Times, or something like that. Those days are over too because they clean the train
also
immediately.
On a plane, they used to have the paper. No papers, no magazines anymore.
Yep. Richie, I gotta end our memory lane. I will. Thank you, Richie. Be well, Pally. Right. Stay warm. All right, buddy boy. There goes Richie. When we come back, yes, Forster, I am looking for one. What is Forster talking about? We'll find out when we come back on Another Side of Midnight with TJ here on the Red Apple Audio Network.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
America's debt is now over $38 trillion. So, protect your savings with something real. Gold. Sanctuary Metals helps you move a portion of your retirement into physical gold. Tax-deferred and penalty-free. Please call 800-801-6487 or just visit sanctuarymetals.com to get your free retirement defense guide. That's sanctuarymetals.com.
Greg Kelly here. Donate now to toysfortots.org, working year-round delivering hope to children at Christmas time and beyond. In 2024, Toys for Tots provided over 30 million toys to nearly 13 million children in need. Donate now, please. Go to toysfortots.org. Since 1947, Toys for Tots has distributed 708 million toys to 314 million deserving children. Working year-round, Toys for Tots. Donate now. Go to toysfortots.org. That's toysfortots.org.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
Up in morning and out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history and practical math. You study them hard and hoping to pass. Working your fingers right down to the bone. And the guy behind you won't leave you alone. Ring, ring goes the bell. The cook in the lunchroom's ready to sell. You're lucky if you can find a seat. You're fortunate if you have time to eat. Back in the classroom, open your books. Gee, but the teacher don't know how mean she looks. Soon as 3 o'clock rolls around.
Yeah, the storyteller. The best. I love this guy. And Zoran Mamdani, Mr. Mayor, the evil mayor, he's making sure no matter how much snow falls, there will be no love, no happy. You know what? Zoran is like the Bürgermeister. Remember from, yeah, that's right. This brings us full circle. We were talking about the Christmas songs and the Christmas music and the Christmas movies, 1 foot in front of the other. Just put 1 foot in front of the other. I love doing claymation. And soon you'll be walking out the door. Yep. Same thing with, yo-yo. I love yo-yos. The Burger. Hated kids. Loved yo-yos. But hated toys? A toy? Oh, that's good. That was a good impersonation of the Burgermeister. A toy? Oh, God. Sometimes I blow myself away. Absolutely mind-blowing how some of my impersonations come out. Anyway, hi, it's me, TJ, on Another Side of Midnight, 1-800-848-9222. And I'm going to go quickly to line 5 because I don't want you to wait any longer. Good morning there, Forster.
Hello, this is McCormack Rum's baseline.
Yeah, yes.
Looking for Foster Brooks.
Yes, actually. Yes.
I'm looking for him, too.
So tell me.
Like I ought to know him.
You sound like you're a couple of sheets to the wind. How you doing there, Forster?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Yeah. And I want everybody to remember, don't ever drive a drunk.
Really? Why not?
And I should know, because if I had a bottle in front of me, or was that a frontal lobotomy, it was no good.
No, huh?
Anyway, excuse me, because I'm thirsty. I gotta go.
Oh, okay. That was perfect. Oh, my God. That was a really sublime, perfect Foster Brooks. Who the hell does Foster Brooks? And by the way, we mentioned it here in New York. It was on the top of the news, the top of the hour news. I don't know. I guess it would be New York area people, especially New Jersey people who maybe around the country outside of New York, you had to have lived in New York to know about Uncle Floyd Vivino. Uncle Floyd was like the greatest, craziest, nuttiest, oddest, cable-made, cable-ready, cable access originally characters. Uncle Floyd passed away. I think he was 74. Floyd Vivino. He was a real character. He really kind of lived it. He was a real throwback, like in the sense that he kind of lived. I used to be on another radio station, the former WVOX in New Rochelle. I was the morning man there for a while. And Uncle Floyd would do a old-time record show. And he would play like Arthur Godfrey kind of stuff and ukulele music and Hawaiian music and storytelling, fun music and, big band music and all that stuff. And Uncle Floyd was a real unique guy. And he did an afternoon cable access show that was it was a throwback. I was going to say it's really original, but it's really unique. It was original, but it was a total take on classic 1950s and 60s live after school shows. He had a puppet named, I think, Oogie. Was it Oogie? Anyway, God rest his soul. Happy trails to Uncle Floyd. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We'll be back.
It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios,
here's TJ McCormack.
All right, it's your last chance to punch it if you're out on the highway before the snow comes. Pull it out into the left lane and let it rip. You know that moment in this song. Get ready. Check out for the cops.
Driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here.
Don't tailgate, but draft behind
and
you.
it's 4:30 and I'm shifting gear.
Here we go, here we go.
When she is lonely and the longing gets too much, she sends a cable coming in from above. Don't need to phone at all. We've got a thing that's a cold red I love. We've got a wave in the air. Red I love.
Good morning, family. 4:07 on the East Coast. 7 minutes past the hour everywhere. Just so happens. Good morning, gang. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick. Broadcasting live from Midtown Manhattan and around the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. Myself and Tony and Bill. And grateful for the fellas and their support and making this show awesomer. Awesomer and awesomer. And thank you all for listening. And the phone lines are full, so we got a great stuff cooking here. And we're talking about everything from snow days to Trump just winning and winning and winning and winning to Foster Brooks and Dean Martin celebrity roasts. That is a rabbit hole that we could go, man. How about a rabbit hole that's just, you know what? Maybe tomorrow. Just like a 70s rabbit hole of like pop culture 70s, like TV shows, movies, pop music. If not tomorrow, soon. The lapels, all those shades of brown. All those shades of brown, those shades of brown. And the big flare legs, and the big flare legs. Right about now is when my 16-year-old would go, all right, stop, wait, you're going to keep going. You're going to go too far. You're not going to get out of it. Get out of it now before you get into it. There you go. It's another example. I could go and do California Dreamin'. I could just describe 70s television and fashion using California Dreamin' as the tune. I will do that and just go. Same thing with church singing. Let me see. What do I read? Anti-Israel activist and former Columbia grad student Mahmoud Khalil is set to be deported to Algeria, bringing an end to a drawn-out court battle over his immigration status. The Syrian-born activist was later arrested by ICE early last year and is slated to be booted from the U.S. after the Trump administration accused him of committing fraud. See? I could do that for an hour. I'm not bragging. Clearly, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I get into an intellectual rut. And I could do that crazy, that insanity for an hour. I could do that. And it's only by the grace of God that I'm able to pull right out of it like a nosedive, like an airplane at an air show. I am pulling out of that. I am not going to do it. I'm not going to do an hour of church singing, reading the New York Post. But boy, I could. Oh, man, that would be satisfying. 1-800-848-9222. And let me see. Luke's been waiting, and I love what he wants to talk about. Luke, good morning. Line 1. Hey.
Hey, good morning, TJ.
Hi, buddy.
Listen, there is nothing like those two magical words when you're a kid. Snow day.
Yeah.
I remember. I'm 40 years old. I remember the blizzard of '96.
Uh-huh.
The snow started on a Wednesday. I remember this was before the internet was be all sorts of information.
Sure,
so I remember we used to either call the hotline or we used to have to watch the local news.
Yeah, you called the weather line, right? News. Like a 976 number. Right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Well, there's also the other 976 lines, and it was whether you wanted to talk to a blonde or a brunette. Boy. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, I don't know nothing about that.
No, neither do I. Neither do I. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Go ahead, Luke.
But I mean, I'm 40 years old, and I remember like it was yesterday. I remember calling the number, and they said, the Linden Public Schools will be closed tomorrow, and then they would mention the date. Ecstasy. And then, because it was a Wednesday and it was a blizzard, they said we'll be closed tomorrow and Friday.
Oh! That's ecstasy.
I mean, it's like, that feeling when you take a shot and it starts to like absorb into your stomach and permeate your body? Dude,
you know that feeling when you consummate lovemaking? Same thing, dude. That's what that was. That was early onset of what ecstasy felt like. Matter of fact, the first time I had sexual relations, it felt like finding out it was a snow day.
And to take that away from the kids is brutal, man.
Right?
It's brutal.
It's sick. It's evil. It really is. I really think this guy has a dark. Well, of course he does. He has a dark evil streak. He's an anti-Semite. He's an Islamist, an Islamo-fascist. So he's dark, and now he's just spreading it around. It's like this guy can't get dark enough. He's got to take it out on the kids.
Well, the Marxists, they use the school system, to indoctrinate the kids. So maybe it has something to do with that. But after you told your story about the working for the schools, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they knew about that communication, because it's just too coincidental, with the traditional snow day quote. I wouldn't be surprised if someone in his administration maybe remembers that or
Luke,
something. I don't know.
Dude, I didn't even want to, you know what? I thought that was almost too in the weeds and like I was going to be going way down. I was thinking that, and I kind of just left that little thought out, but I was thinking it 1,000. And also, I just didn't want to give myself so much credit that some Marxist, communications guy was going to go, hey, about 6 years ago, the Catholic school said this. But no, you're right. They are nuts enough and psycho enough that I could easily see them, throwing that out there as a nod to, what we consider to be traditional and them dismissing it.
Thanks, TJ. All right,
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Luke, you too, brother. Stay warm. Don't be a stranger, and tune in tomorrow because we're going to be all snow all the time. Thank you, buddy. He's right, man. I'm glad, I'm glad he said it because it scratches my narcissistic itch. I would frankly love to think that somebody in the Mamdani administration was somewhere and remembered our Catholic schools narrative about a traditional snow day and the importance of it. I would love. I very honestly, if I'm being totally square with you guys, I would love to think that. And I did have that notion. I'm glad he threw it out there. I did think, boy, this is too coincidental. Not a traditional snow day. Now, again, granted, it's, they are saying that it's a snow, if schools are closed, kids are still going to have to, log. So maybe, I'm still trying to talk it down a little bit, but it is not beyond a vile Marxist like that to put a finger in the eye of all the families and say, we know exactly what you're wishing for, and we're not giving it to you because it's lovely, because it's a rite of passage, because, or a rite of winter, really, a rite of winter to get a tradition, especially because it almost never happens in New York City. For those of you not here, it just doesn't happen here. Manhattan just does not get, it's just too warm. There's so much concrete and there's so much steam underneath and there's just so much radiant heat or warmth. I mean, you don't necessarily think of it as heat or warmth, but there's just radiant, warmth emanating from buildings and streets and subways and all the cars and everything. Just it's like a big heaving radiator. Even when it's 17 degrees out, there's just something about New York City that it just doesn't hold its snow. I mean, sometimes it does, but that's rare. And so you don't normally get 12 inches. Oh, so many jokes, so many lines, and so little time. You don't normally get 12 inches. So it's a rare thing. So really, it's no skin off of Mamdani's nose to give the kids the day on Monday, especially because it's a Monday. They're not going to need another one all year. They suck. You know what? This is it. This is just another example of just how much and why and how Zoran Mamdani just sucks. These kids, man, give them a break. Let them get out to the park. Let them go. Somebody even, I think in between, during one of the news breaks, I caught out of the corner of my eye I think it was in the digital New York Post, an op-ed, an opinion piece saying, let the kids get out there and touch the snow. Yeah. God forbid, right? God forbid New York City kids, city dwellers, children who, are trapped in a concrete jungle. God forbid they get to go outside and enjoy the snowy elements and not have to log in for mindless. I'm telling you, this is my movement for Monday. New York City parents, show your kids that you love them and stand up for tradition. Stand up because you enjoyed it. You enjoyed a snow day, parents. Do not log your kids in. Do not log your kids in. I got to think of a hashtag for tomorrow. If you want to give me a hashtag, somebody. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. How do we drive this morning into tomorrow morning? How do we drive this on Twitter and Instagram? What's our hashtag? What's our meme? What's our line? Is it Mamdani? Let's chew on this for the next 40 minutes, okay? And then we'll try to do it tomorrow. 1-800-848-9222. All right, let's see. Let's take our break now. When we come back, we go straight to Mike. Straight to Mike. When we come back on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack, Red Apple Audio Networks all around the country. We'll be right back.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
If you're you're starting this new year wanting more control of your health instead of leaving it to a broken system, well, then the pharmacy for you is All Family Pharmacy. You see, they help people get access to essential medications, including some that the big chain pharmacies make it hard to get or refuse to even carry. That's why so many families rely on them. When everyone around you is getting sick and you want to prepare, you need All Family Pharmacy. You're tired of dealing with insurance and want affordable medications, you need All Family Pharmacy. And when your doctors refuse to prescribe ivermectin and treat you like you're out of line for asking intelligent questions, you need All Family Pharmacy. See, the process is quite simple. You order online, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your medications shipped to your door. They carry antibiotics, Tamiflu, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, mebendazole, and all of your everyday necessary medications and more. So if you haven't already, switch to a pharmacy that you can rely on. You can do so by going to allfamilypharmacy.com/stone, and please use STONE10 as your code to save 10% on your next purchase.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios,
Here's TJ McCormack.
Time, see what's become of me. While I looked around for my possibilities, I was so hard to please. Look around, leaves are brown, and the sky is a hazy shade of winter.
How great are my guys?
In the Salvation Army.
Salvation Army Band. And I didn't know until like I was whatever years old that this is a cover of Simon and Garfunkel did. This is a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Look around, leaves are brown, and the sky
Yeah.
is a
Hazy shade of winter. Yeah. And that is that the Bangles? Yeah.
That's an easy thing to say, but if your hope should pass away.
Yeah. Good morning, gang. 23 after the hour here on Another Side of Midnight. And yep, got the big storm coming. And tomorrow we'll really drill down into that whole thing. I mean, this morning I definitely wanted to get it rolling there with the Mamdani announcement because it was timely because he did it yesterday. But tomorrow morning I would love to talk about some of these great holidays, snow day memories. And you know, snow days equal elementary school, right? High school to a lesser extent. Sometimes, like, it seemed that high schools didn't really close. And it took a lot more to close a high school for some reason, even though people came from farther and wider usually to get to a high school. Especially in my experience, Catholic high school, it was like a magnet, you know. People came greater distances to get there, and yet still we wouldn't close it. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, there's just something magical about being, especially from our generation. And I know I've mentioned this, but we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. But just to whet the appetite for that conversation, just to spark the memories, when you're our generation, 50s, and I think 40s, and then that's it. If you're in your 30s, it may be a little bit of AM radio there. 20s, definitely not. 20s, that's it. You got all your stuff from apps and emails. You got apps and texts and emails if you're in your 20s. But 30s, maybe 40s. Certainly, you could have experienced some AM radio announcements. And I know when I was doing morning radio in Westchester in 2014, 2012, 2013, we did the school lists, and that was an honor to read a school list and tell tens of thousands of school kids they were off. But that ritual of knowing that the snow is coming waking up, looking out, seeing it was definitely white enough. And then, oh my God, putting on that radio and listening and waiting. Again, we'll save that for tomorrow. 1-800-848-9222. What we are talking about is another week of winning for Trump, another week that ends with like a big news cycle that's all Trumpian, all Trump victories. The guy goes to Davos and just charms the pants, charms the lederhosen, off of those Europeans in Switzerland. And by the way, if you like jazz and classical music, if you like jazz, Radio Swiss Jazz and Radio Swiss Classic, 2 radio stations out of Switzerland, that it's the coolest disembodied thing. When you play those radio stations, you tune into absolutely the coolest thing, because it's you can listen to it in either, I think, Italian or German, I think, and or Swiss. I'm a little ignorant here, but Radio Swiss Classique, you listen to classical music, perfect for a snow day and a fire. Classical music, and then the liner notes, the announcements, the introductions are given in those languages. Oh, that's cool. Sit in front of a fireplace, listen to Radio Swiss Classique. Do that on Monday, later on Sunday. Do it. 1-800-848-9222. Mike in South Carolina. Good morning there, brother, on line 2. Good morning, pal.
Top of the morning, TJ.
Back at you, Mikey.
I'm sitting in my 24 Maverick, and
nice.
I'm going to see a group of guys. They're playing small poker, and I'm going to sit down and just watch. You know, because I got up early. One guy I haven't seen in 3 decades, and he was flipping out. Mike, holy grab him. But anyway, what can I say? Oh, I got to mention this, and I always try to get to my point. Some people drone on.
Take your time.
You know, Joaquin, did you have something to say to me? And you made reference to that kid. I don't even mention his name, from White Plains.
Oh,
I always said he belongs in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
So, Joaquin, if you want to say something, go ahead. You know, but if you get froggy with me, I'll get froggy with you right back.
You want to? Yeah, you feeling froggy? You want to jump? Right? Yeah.
I'm an old hardball player. College baseball, forget it, man. I got hit in the head too many times with the baseball. Break my nose 3 times, dislocate my elbow.
Oh my God.
So, Joaquin, just, you know, you got to chill. And if you want to do cowbell, you know, I was a drummer. You can do that too. But you know, I mentioned a friend of mine to Bill. He can't beat his addiction.
Really?
Yeah, we go back 25 years. He's on Long Island, where I'm from. And I said, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Listen, 1 is too many, 1,000 is not enough. You can do it. If you don't want to, you know, no one's going to, you know, convince you. You have to convince yourself in your own coconut, in your own brain.
Yep.
So, you know, he's, you know, I'm going to be 72 in May.
Okay.
You know, and I'm grateful for my kids. My daughter, Christine Rose, she's going to be 36, a middle school teacher, 2 boys.
Lovely.
And my son was a wide receiver at Cortland, and now he just turned 31. He's in law enforcement upstate New York.
Cool.
You know, so be grateful for the things you have, people, and stop whining, you know, if you want to whine or whatever.
Yeah.
And something else you said last week. Oh, Greg Kelly, I called his show. You mentioned Greg Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
He knew my father well. If you remember the old Grand Union supermarkets, do you remember those?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Grand Union, sure. Grand Union, Wallbaum's,
Yeah, he was with Grand Union 52 years, manager and district manager. I'm the oldest of 3 sons.
Huh.
So, oh, yeah. So, you know what? People, you know, if you got something that you can't get rid of, you know, it's like you have a compulsion, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to, you know, you have to quit. If you don't want to quit, it's just going to be, you know, you're going to be going around in circles. You're going to be going around in circles.
Yeah, it's the truth.
All right, DJ.
Hi, Mike.
Yes.
I'm glad we got to you a little earlier than usual. Thank you, pal. And I hope your buddy sees the forest through the trees and gets sober, gets the help he needs. Mike mentioned gratitude, and that's another thing. You know what it is for me? And I tell you what, I'm not talking sobriety. I'm not talking sobriety. I mean, you can apply this to sobriety easily. And I want to get to Jim in 1 second there. Jim on line 4. We're going to talk to you in a minute. But there is definitely, it's all about gratitude. And that's why, and yes, you definitely fold in sobriety to this, because when somebody reaches out to me, or if I find myself talking to somebody who's struggling, or somebody calls the show, in the past we've had people, and by the way, 1-800-848-9222. If you've got a burning desire, if you want to get something off your chest about addiction, an addiction that you might be dealing with right now, or that you might be in recovery from, or if you love somebody dearly who it is clear as daylight to anybody has a problem, and you're kind of struggling with what to do next or what not to do, boundaries, or how to establish them if there aren't any, or if you want to, is it okay to say something, whatever. 1-800-848-9222. Bring it to the table here with the crew, and we'll kick it around. And by the way, again, I have been wondering, we haven't heard from Sal since Christmas week on Staten Island, who was very emotional when he called. I'm curious how he's doing. How you doing there, Sally? Are you there? 1-800-848-9222. So yeah, gratitude keeps me honest. It reminds me why I got to do what I got to do. And it also makes me mindful of why I do what I got to do. Does that make sense? Did that make sense? Or does that have 4:30 in the morning written all over it? Am I talking a little drunky? If I am, definitely slap me back into reality. But I think I'm making sense. See, gratitude, when I'm the ultimate goal is a state of grace. And my understanding of a state of grace, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding of a state of grace is just, thy will be done. Right? The three pillars, right? The three pillars, I think, for a somewhat decent life are what? The gratitude, the golden rule, do unto others, right? And a state of grace, which is thy will be done. Handing over and letting go and letting God. And that's the ultimate for me. For me personally is like, state of grace, man. What's that thing I'm fearing? I can't fear it. There is no fear. If I'm in faith, there is no fear. And if there is no fear, then by definition, it's out of my control. There is no fear. It's God. It's God's will. Thy will be done. And boom. You still got to do the legwork, right? You got to do the work. Got to be present. Got to be good. My faith, I try to have as a verb. I try to have my faith as something I do and not just something I have. I try to live my faith and not just have it. Not be passive, but be proactive, be aggressive with my faith, right? Live it and not just like see it or do it, live my faith, right? So anyway, gratitude keeps me honest and keeps me clear and helps me see. I think I've said forest through the trees like 7 times this morning. Sorry. But it helps me see the forest through the trees and keeps me on that Because in order to be in a state of grace, you got to have your receptor open. Right? Am I sounding like a religious drunk right now? Am I like sort of am I kind of like the Foster Brooks of the pulpit at this moment? I'm really not trying to be like that. I'm not trying to be heavy-handed with the faith stuff or the sobriety. I'm really not. And I am kind of delineating the two. It's not so much sober talk as much as it is just life talk. And God, by the way, I mean, if we're being honest here, every once in a while, this is what I didn't do. Damn it. I'm so sorry, everybody. Again, we have some members of the family who don't come in here into the living room. They hang out in the kitchen, and the kitchen is Twitter. It's X. And over there is Patty is there as always, Marianne, Ed Foreman. What is Ed saying here? TJ, I want some of what your brand of espresso is I'm drinking tonight. Thank you. Earlier, I was in Fuego a couple hours ago. And Ed Foreman also said, TJ, wait a minute. You quit drinking a long time ago. It must be the love of your life. That's what it is. Love is the best drug. Ask Huey Lewis. It's the power of love. Have a good night, my friend. Thank you, Ed. Sorry I'm getting to you 2 hours later there, my brother. Catherine is there, as always. Patty O is there. Patty is there. Good morning to all the Twitter family. Oh, my Lord. Patty sent a picture of her son's storm prep out in Texas. There was like one roll of like ground beef in the store. Oh, my God, the store is empty. Patty's son lives out in Texas. He's got some firewood ready. And he shows a picture of the store shelves in Texas. And it looks like there's like there was a pound of ground beef. And that's in Texas, where all they got is beef. It's like the source of beef. And there was like none. Wow. Very interesting. Anyway, that's our crew. That's our loving members of the Twitter wing of the Another Side of Midnight family. They're over there. So thank you, gang, for being there. It means the world. Love you guys for being there on Twitter and chiming in. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And we got Jim in Michigan on 4. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, how's it going, TJ?
All right, it's going, baby. It's going.
You're tremendous. You're great.
You're kind. Thank you.
Did you ever see the list of some of the people that they're deporting from Minnesota? There's people from Laos. That's the country next to Cambodia and Vietnam. Now, Vietnam vets know the country pretty well. Did you see these guys from Laos? They're being deported. They're convicted of all kinds of children sex crimes. That's insanity. You know, the Somalis have the marquee over there, but still, there's other countries they come from. There's a bunch of pedophile predators there in our country. Why would the Democrats want them to stay here? Because they want to destroy the country. Yeah. And also, in Minnesota, that woman, Amy Bach, you're finally starting to hear her name. Yes. But her conviction, people don't know, she's from Minnesota. She was convicted. She wanted to feed the children. $250 million. But this was from the COVID relief fund. Right. This is not from they don't even mention her name. And they really mention her name. And her boyfriend is Somalian. He was convicted too. And he was part of the scheme. Yep. They were convicted, but they haven't been sentenced yet. It's been almost a year that they were convicted.
Jimmy, that is some shady stuff. And I tell you what, that was a potential for a free-for-all when it came to that COVID money. Those COVID funds, boy, I tell you what, people found is 50 ways to Sunday to wet their beak in that trough.
Correct. And it was they had to deal with the other agencies that was giving the food for the children. That's what it's for. So there's a lot of people involved in it. if it's $250 million.
Yep.
And also, people have to know, and it's not going to sound nice, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the rioting in Minnesota, Minneapolis, the whole state is a bunch of flakes.
Yeah.
The land of a million flakes. But the women are rioting there because you got to realize people aren't going to believe this. A lot of them, their boyfriends are being deported. Like Amy Bott's boyfriend is Somalian. There's a lot of women there who are hooking up with these foreign.
Yeah, it's weird.
Convicted.
There's a lot of, you know what? You make a hell of a point. You know what? This is true. There's a lot of weird, not just the corruption. There's a lot of weird, like bizarre stuff going on in Minnesota. A lot of bizarre behavior. And that, you know what? Tim Walz just ran for vice president and he drops out of a run to hold his seat as governor. He drops out. There's a lot more than just, I wish I could be, but I can't. They won't let me. I can't run and I can't. I'm just not going to, they're going to get in the way. I'm going to get out of the way. No, this Walz guy, he's not looking for serenity. He's saving his skin, or he thinks he's going to save his skin. He's not just protecting, his good name and his integrity. And thank you, Jim. He is absolutely trying to jump out of the way of a freight train of trouble that's like aimed directly at him. That dirty, it's a dirty state. It's a dirty state. It's so far left. It's dirty. Absolutely dirty. Let's talk to Byron. Byron, I'm glad you called about this. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. It's Brian. How are you today?
All right there. How are you?
Good. Yeah, listen, I just want to tell you, man, I love your show. I wish you were on during the week. I know you said you're friends with Lionel, but that guy is just rude, talks over everybody. Nobody can get a word in. Everybody's on trial. Like, I know, he's a friend. He's
a legend.
Enjoy your show.
He's a legend.
I wish you were on during the week.
Well, that's
all,
kind
brother.
of you. Thank you. That's kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. You're a good dude.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Did you want to chime in on sobriety at all? Was there anything that you wanted to chime?
Yeah, I've been, 15 years good, so things are good. Just
15 years.
Straight and narrow, right?
Yeah. That's good. There you go. Well, good for you, brother. I'm glad you're on the straight and narrow. Glad you're on the wagon with me.
Yeah, man. Let's do it together, right?
Indeed. Absolutely. Rising tide lifts all boats, all drunkies.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thank you.
Have yourself a great day, my friend.
You too, man. Stay warm. God bless. All right. There he goes. And yes. I will always respect and admire Lionel. That guy flips the mic on and goes like nobody's business. Like nobody's business, that guy can talk. And keeps it way up there, intellectually, narrative-wise. He is absolutely amazing. And the other one that just goes and amazes me, smack dab in the middle of the afternoon, the aforementioned Greg Kelly. Yowza. Nobody is on the radio quite like Greg. Greg and Lionel let her rip. Slightly different. There's a nuance there. There's a difference there. Different kind of subject matter, sometimes different kind of pace. Totally different day part, as we say in radio. So there's a big difference in the audience and the time of day and across the country. It's all, but the way that Greg, yes, and Lionel go at it are different. And I just this week during the day I was in the car a lot, and last week as well. And I happened to hear more of Greg Kelly recently than I have, say, in the last, it was around the holidays. The last week or so, I heard a lot of Greg. And it was really great radio. Really great radio. I grabbed the podcast of his shows. It's just great stuff. Man, Mr. Katz, God, thank God he wrote in and saved this place. Grab Chad Lopez and boom, off to the races. And look, we got Sid celebrating 10 years here at 77 WABC, the crown jewel of Red Apple Audio Networks. Boy, oh boy, I'm proud to be here. God almighty, the company that I keep these days. Who the hell do I think I am? Thank you, God. There you go. Bam. There's the gratitude. Zippity doodah. Look at me. Look at me. All right, gang. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we will bring this baby home and we will get ready for Sunday morning. Sunday morning is definitely going into Sunday morning is definitely going to be the big time weather watch. We're going to have a weather watch party right here on another side of the and we'll we'll have a little bit of fun with the snow stuff. And we'll think about that hashtag. How are we going to drive that narrative? How are we going to drive that message to encourage New York City school parents to keep their kids off of the computers, keep them off the devices and in the snow? Ooh, maybe that's it. Let's chew on that, and that'll be part of tomorrow's show. Let's create a messaging campaign. Join me. Be like a comms director, okay, a communications guy. Be a communications director with me, and let's think of the messaging and the narrative, and let's push it out with a hashtag and a social media campaign, a PR campaign to keep the kids off the devices and in the snow here in New York City. Let's show the mayor what an evil dude he is. The Burgermeister Burger. Yo. Toys. All right, gang. We'll be right back on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ, here on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
It's Another Side of Midnight. The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Hi, my name is Angie. I've noticed how the abortion issue is often viewed as women's health, but we know it's a health concern for more than just one person. I want to help both the mom and baby when there's an unplanned or unsafe pregnancy. That's why I'm committed to Pro-Life Across America. We help women and men going through unplanned pregnancies know their options and get the help they need. Please join us in this life-saving work. Go to prolifeacrossamerica.org. That's prolifeacrossamerica.org.
If you want real American beef, born, raised, and processed in the USA, then you want Freedom Farms. No imports, no fillers, just farm fresh beef from upstate New York, shipped nationwide. Stock your freezer with an entire cow or a half of a cow. Or grab just a box of premium steaks and burgers. Right now, new customers get $25 off with promo code MAGA. Go to wearefreedomfarms.com. Use code MAGA for $25 off. That's promo code MAGA. Freedom Farms, America's beef delivered.
It's
Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. Since my man and I together, keeps raining all the time. Life is bare, gloom and misery everywhere, stormy weather. Just can't get my poor self together. I'm weary all the time.
It is so 4:51 on the East Coast because I had to ask who Lena Horne was. Oh my God, the name escaped me. Lena Horne. What a stunner. God, is she a beautiful woman. Oh my God, and what a unique enunciation of the words like no other singer I have ever heard. enunciate and pronounce lyrics. And what an interpretation. Lena Horne. One and only Lena Horne. Good morning, gang. 51 minutes past. And we are rolling towards a really frigid Saturday, like all across America. All across America, frigid cold. I mean, even for like other places, like even Eduardo down in Tampa was like, the morning starts chilly and then it gets warm. But I think the next couple of days might be a little different. Maybe not all the way down in Tampa, but certainly up in the Panhandle and across that I-10 corridor, the I-40 corridor. Listen to me talking like I'm a big time national broadcaster. Listen to me. The corridor. You want to sound like you know what you're talking about. Talk about a highway, but refer to the corridor. Like, the Washington, Baltimore, New Jersey, Delmarva corridor. I am literally pulling that out of my bright red rosy. It's 52 minutes past, and let's get up to line one, and then we're going to close it out with the one and only. Here's Danny in Westchester. Good morning.
Oh, hi, TJ. And I could agree with some people in Greenland why they would get nervous when they take a look at that Philly down in that sheriff down in Philly. I could see them getting nervous because you never know. A future president, Alex Cortex or Hakeem Jeffries, might appoint her the military governor of Greenland, but they don't have nothing to worry about. You got to remember now, Greenland, the North Arctic Ocean leads into the St. Lawrence River and the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And what does that mean? Those are the big shipping lanes. That feeds the heartland. That feeds the heartland of America. You can't let China and Russia take that over. America's been trying to buy that for years. And listen, let me just tell you something. That Amy Bach, her boyfriend is Somalian. They never mentioned his name either. Salim said is the one that is the Somali who was convicted with her. Nobody ever mentions their names. If the name was Luigi, you would hear that name via chorus. Everybody would be singing that name over and over and over again. You know that? But I just want to tell you something. This is a great show. But again, I'm going to say it again. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Communist China. America is Saturday Night Live to them now. They're laughing their heads off.
The 1965 what?
Married to a Somalian, robbing $250 million. Where did it go? They said she had $45 million. Well, where's the other $245 million?
I don't know. Third base.
Get up. This is the answer. If they don't do it, your country's gone. You can go relax and forget about anything. 65 Immigration Act.
That's what it is.
Go, folks. It's got to go. If it doesn't, your country's goodbye. Your country is gone, man. And I'm going to tell you something. The future in this country is a horror show. Because look what they did to Trump. They had juries all over the country.
I know.
Grand juries. They were indicting him. Why? There was nothing there to indict.
I know, man.
They were, most of them were foreigners. Most of them were left-wingers. And the judges were left-wingers and also American left-wingers. That's what they're going to do. That's what your future is for your children and grandchildren.
All right.
So keep saying Pelosi and Luigi.
I know.
You lost the country.
All right, Danny Ooch. We'll talk to you later, baby. All right, there goes Danny. By the way, the best lip balm. Burt's Bees. Fight me. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. Best lip balm, Burt's Bees. Fight me. I'm taking all comers. And bringing us home, Joaquin. Good morning, Cowbell. Hello there.
Jay Maxim. Hey, I put a request for a dedication to the boys. I wanted to hear some Nazareth, Hair of the Dog, dedicated to Mike from South Carolina.
Hair of the Dog. Maybe mañana.
Yeah.
Maybe mañana will there's a Nazareth.
Enough, but you know, anyway, you mentioned gratitude before.
Yes,
I got to tell you, man, I am grateful for adoring fans like Mike. Okay, when it comes to injuries,
he does say your name more than anybody else.
When it comes to injuries, I've been shot and I've been kicked in the head by a horse. Actually, tried to drive me to a trailer floor.
Yikes!
So, I have a little advice for you though. Now,
yes, sir.
This winter weather.
Yes.
When you go out and you venture out into the winter storm, you want to be careful that you don't slip on the ice and go heels up to the sky and scream, "Oh Jesus!" like a good girl on prom night.
I tell you what, dude. We delivered my wife's Volvo to a very reputable mechanic. So fingers crossed, we're finally crossing that chasm and trying to figure out what's going on with that. And the reason I say that is because I had it towed today, and I was preparing it. Well, that's fine. It just wasn't moving. So I was like, I had insurance to it, and the black ice, because the ice had melted a little bit this week and run off the hood of the car and froze like it was Madison Square. It was hockey ice all around the perimeter of this Volvo. Oh my God, it was deadly today. And the next few days, man, black ice going to be everywhere. Now, how are you doing? Now, you guys, you don't have anything yet. You're expecting stuff. What are we looking at? We're looking at probably midway through, maybe right at the end of this show tomorrow is when this is going to kick in.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I mean, basically, it's calling for the same for everybody for the most part, from what I can see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got 2 fireplaces, and we got everything pretty much all, I don't have to go to work anymore, so.
Right. There you go. Now is karaoke going to be on the agenda? Are you going to be able to squeeze in a karaoke before the storm?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I went tonight. I'll be going tomorrow night.
All right.
Nothing's gonna stop me from that.
What'd you sing last night?
Okay, let's see. I sang. I started off with Johnny Cash, Boston Prison Blues.
Yeah.
And I finished off with George Strait, Amarillo by Morning.
Right.
Let's see. I got a couple others in there. I'm trying to think.
Well, you know what? I tell you, this is what you're up against, right? Because right now, here in New York, and this is from the source of all sources, it is currently, I'm about to step outside into 10 degrees. Now, this kind of 10 degrees, and this is from the source of all sources here at 77 WABC. And it's 10 degrees. Now, that means that it is so cold, and this air is not going to be getting any warmer. Today, we're looking at a high. Right now, 10, we're getting up to like 14 degrees, and it feels like -4 in New York City right now. This is the kind of weather This is the kind of weather that kills people, and I got to jump there, Joaquin. This is the kind of weather that kills people. So I'm hoping that Mamdani is on his toes, and this is the first real test for this 35-year-old young buck. And we here at 77 WABC and the Red Apple Audio Networks, we are watching all of this for you. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. This is why we need AM in all the cars. Another side of midnight. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Idea Gen Global Podcast with George Sifakis.
I'm George Sifakis. In a world overflowing with noise, there is one forum where the world's smartest voices connect, where visionaries sit at the same table as innovators, and great minds don't just talk, they act.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.